Hello, I am Patrick, and the focus of today's session is basically to understand how to prepare for a Quant section of the CAT. So I am Patrick, have scored thrice 100 percentile in the CAT and will guide you through the CAT. So we'll start with the Quant section. What is basically Quant section? So Quant or mathematics forms more than one-third, a little more than one-third of the examination. So out of total 100 questions that have come in the examination in the past, almost 34 questions are in the Quant section. So it becomes a very important part of the examination. If you look at the syllabus is basically school level. Look, the basic idea of CAT is to create a level playing field for all, right, from people from commerce background or arts background or engineers. So there should be no advantage for engineers. So the syllabus is purely 10th standard or school level mathematics and not beyond that. So if you can just prepare and know your fundamentals of school level mathematics and know how to apply, I'm sure you will do well in the CAT. As a matter of fact, from my past experience, I have not seen any advantage for engineers. As a matter of fact, I have seen a lot of people even from the arts background doing extremely well in the CAT examination. So let's look at what does Quant section test you on. It first tests you on thinking logically. If you look at the type of sums that come in the exam, it basically focuses on how can you think logically and try to get the answer. So basically looking at options or trying simple methods. So it basically looks at that you have a problem at hand, how can you get a solution? It's like in a real life situation when you have a problem at hand, how do you come across to a solution in a most logical manner. What it does not test you on is the ability to remember formulae. I see a lot of students mugging up formulae. It doesn't help for the CAT examination. Normally the sums that come in the CAT exam is not a direct application of formulae. It doesn't check you on calculations. Okay. As a matter of fact, of late they have also given calculators for people to calculate. Though being able to calculate a little fast helps, but purely calculation is not a focus area of what they check you on. You can easily solve it logically. How do you go about preparing for Quant section? The first step is check if your fundamentals are fine. When you talk of fundamentals, I'm talking about basic things. You know what is averages? Do you know what is profit and loss? Do you know the equation of a line? Do you know what is the Pythagoras theorem? Do you know anything? The basic fundamentals with regards to mathematics. If you feel your basic fundamentals are weak or you are not aware of, then go back and to your school books and try to work on that. Now, assuming your fundamentals are right, you will have different areas of maths. So some area you will be strong at, some areas are weak. What are weak areas? If you are not able to solve very simple sums of a particular topic, then those becomes the weak areas. But if you are able to solve simple sums, maybe you are not able to solve difficult sums of the topic, those are not your weak areas. Go to some practice books. There are a lot of practice books available for CAT and focus on the chapter and study that. Avoid going to the books for a strong area. Next step is if you feel that you are okay with all topics, then for general practice, take random sums from different chapters. You can avoid going chapter wise, because when you go chapter wise, what happens is you become quite mechanical while solving. You take a chapter, you mug up a formula, and then you try to solve the sums based on a formula. Doesn't help, because in the examination the sums will come from multiple topics and all jumbled up. So you should be able to apply any concept, any sum as such. So it makes sense to solve randomly from different chapters as far as possible. So given the chapter, how do you solve the sums? I normally advise not to solve too many sums mechanically, because when people solve too many sums, what happens is they just, okay, this is a sum, this is a formula and this is the answer. They don't learn too much from those chapters. It doesn't help in the CAT. CAT doesn't check you on a mechanical way of solving a sum. It makes you think. My advice is just take 10 sums per day. You don't require more than that. And spend around 10 to 15 minutes per sum. So around 1 hour or 2 hours max is sufficient. There are people who study for a lot many hours for max. It doesn't help. Assuming your general fundamentals are correct, 10 sums per day is sufficient. Okay, if your fundamentals are not correct, to clear your fundamentals you can spend a lot of time on that, on your school books, etc. But once your fundamentals are correct and your weak areas are okay, then while solving this, pick up 10 sums every day and that should suffice. The focus should be trying to get alternate methods for the sum you solve. So let's say, if I get a particular sum, how do I solve a sum? I normally recommend that keep your pen aside when you start solving a sum and for 2 minutes think of how to get the answer to the sum without using your pen on paper. Okay, that helps you to think, understand the sum, and helps you to get shortcuts. If you don't get without using pen, use pen and try solving it, and see if you can get the answer by using the pen. If you still don't get it, then look at the answers and try to understand what the answer says. Okay? And once you understand the answer, go to the sum and see if you can get an alternate method or different methods to get the answer. The moment you get different methods, automatically it will help you. So even if you get the first answer, try searching for alternate methods of getting the answer. Don't be happy with getting the answer. Let's take an example. So this is the example from work. It's a normal work formula where number of man days is constant. So n men completing the work in 8 days should be equal to n plus 4 men completing the work in 6 days. So number of man days has to be equal. If you expand it and solve it, like 8n is equal to 6n plus 24, and then you solve it 2n equal to 24, or n is equal to 12. So you get the answer is 12. So you have got the answer by equation, you are happy about it. Now go back and think, is there any other way of solving it? 1. If I look at this particular equation, it is equal on both the sides. I see there is a 6 out here, which is a multiple of 3. 3 is the prime number. So 6 is a multiple of 3, which means on the left hand side also there should be a multiple of 3. Since 8 is not a multiple of 3, n has to be a multiple of 3. The only option which is a multiple of 3 is 12. That will be the answer. Right? So if there is a right hand side is a multiple of 3, even left hand side should be a multiple of 3 because they both are equal, and n should be a multiple of 3, so 12. Let's see third method. The method 3 will be, can I use options? For example, if I have 12, can I substitute 12? I say n is 12, then 12 into 8 I can make out will be equal to 16 into 6. They both are equal, so 12 becomes the answer again. So this is method 3, where I substitute the option. Let's say method 4, I take ratios. So what is ratios? So here I am saying the ratio of number of days is 6 is to 8. I mean, initially there was 8 days, now there are 6 days. The ratio of number of men is inversely proportional days. So men will be 8 upon 6. Remember, more the days, less the men. So men are inversely proportional days. So initially there were 6 men, now there are 8 men. But I know the difference in men is 4. So that means the number of men should be 16 and 12 to make a difference 4. So I know there was initially 12 men. So I have solved this particular sum in 4 different methods. And that's how you need to solve. So how does it help? It gives me flexibility. So when in the exam I get a sum, if one method doesn't work, I can try the second method. Second doesn't work, I can try the third method. It is not necessary all the sums can be solved only by a single method. So it helps me to get the answer for different kinds of sum in the examination. Second, I get shortcuts by solving them. So a lot of shortcuts are derived by searching for alternate methods, and the moment you search for that, you will automatically get better methods of solving it. So let me summarize what I have said. Okay? Don't focus on solving difficult sums. In an exam, though you have difficult sums, but they are not formally based. When I go to the various forums that are there, half the sums I cannot solve. They are based on some weird formulae. So I have heard of some Euler's theorem, Chinese theorem, etc., which I have no idea about. Heard of them, but I don't know what it means, and I don't use them. Just focus on the fundamentals that you know with regards to 10, and that should suffice with regards to your exam. Don't try to be good at maths. Try to be good at solving the answers. People try to practice maths, and try to be good at mathematics. But CAT doesn't check you on mathematics. So solving long hours of maths may not help you improve your CAT scores. But trying to get better weights should help you. Avoid difficult concepts. So only look at concepts that you come in school. Because as I said, CAT checks you on school level mathematics. So if you look at any other concepts beyond that, it may not help you too much. Try to focus on building alternate approaches. Okay, if possible, take the help of your friends or your faculty who will help you. So they have gone to different sums, they know different approaches. So if you have a good faculty or some friends, they can help you build approaches for your sums that you solve. I hope that helps. So any more information, you can subscribe to us. We'll put more videos on the same. And if you like the video, Please like it. Thank you.